Welcome. I'm Beaky and you're not. Ask any Gen Zer or young millennial what the best year of their life was, and in most cases, more often than not, they'll say 2016. So as I make this video in the year of our Lord 2020, there's a lot going on right now, and obviously people are gonna go back and look to pretty much any time that is not now. Be that 4 years, 10 years, 1 year, anything that is not 2020 is leagues better. But this meme of 2016 being the best year of our lives has been going on for quite a while now, well before 2020 and the many events that have taken place. So let's rewind a bit.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
To get to the bottom of why 2016 was so great, I want to look at the other years in the 2010s to understand why 2016 was so special. So early out in the decade, we had the earthquake in Haiti, we had Occupy Wall Street, we had the aftermath of one of the biggest recessions in modern history. We had terrible hurricanes like Hurricane Michael, Hurricane Sandy, and I remember that so vividly. A lot of my friends lost their houses due to flooding in New York City, and that was just like insane to me at the time. We have the rise of Black Lives Matter, which is still a big deal right now. We also have the rise of mass shootings and terror attacks, the Boston Marathon, Pulse, Sandy Hook, and subsequently after those things, racism, homophobia, and xenophobia ensues. And then in 2019, we had Brexit and also the impeachment of Donny Boy. So a lot has happened in the past decade, but still, why does 2016 stand out to us so much? We had some good things happen in the decade as well, like the rise of LGBTQ rights. We had Simone Biles, a Black gymnast who eventually became the most decorated in history. And we also had #MeToo, which ended up in a kind of weird place, but had a really good message underneath. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anybody. A lot happens in a decade, and a lot of big changes took place when it comes to how we interact socially, but also how we think. In my opinion, I feel like everything went downhill since the Mayans in 2012. Like, I just feel like things have never felt the same since, right? I'm not crazy. But if you're at all to any degree engaged in pop culture, I'm certain you've seen this meme right here. What is the deal with the summer of 2016? Now, not to be a stereotypical teenager, but I feel like this has to do with one thing: the internet. I actually find this image a little bit conflicting because I remember in 2016 there were so many memes about how it was the worst year ever and the year sucked. If only we knew. I guess hindsight really is 2020. I think 2016 is the year that Gen Z really found its bearings. I know that Gen Zers also consist of like 10-year-olds who would have been 6 at the time. With all that's going on in the world right now, Gen Z is natively very well using the internet to their advantage, and they use it in a way that other generations just can't seem to grasp. Seeing all of the tragic but also all of the good in the world in a little device like this has never been so easy, but a lot of times the negativity overrides the positivity. I mean, how many stories do you want to hear about a cat being saved from a tree? Or do you want to hear about Donald Trump saying something crazy on Twitter? But then as a result, the American psyche has definitely become more jaded. Are we in a worse place than we were then? I mean, in some ways, definitely. But back then, bad things were happening too. But maybe the key idea is that there were so many different distractions that sort of pulled us away from all of the bad. With the current landscape of everything social, political, in terms of media, everything is so hyperpolarized, and this really goes to show why the doomer meme right now is so popular. What do I really mean by this? Let's think back to 16, some of the highlights. We had Vine.
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white van.
Honestly, memes, and really in specific, Random humor was at an all-time high. Just Girly Things was at its peak. Selena Gomez had the most liked picture on Instagram. Pokemon Go was released.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
The 2016 Apocalypse Clown sightings. I feel like everyone forgot about this. I have not forgotten.
Police and communities are on alert as mysterious clown sightings continue to spread throughout the Southeast.
They were standing out like in front of schools. Did everyone just like forget about this? We had iconic songs like Love Yourself, Work, One Dance, Panda, Hello, Sorry. Harambe was killed, causing worldwide controversy. We had the 2016 Olympics in Brazil, which gave us this, but also this, which honestly seemed like a fever dream right now. So many of the popular YouTubers that we know and love, or loved,
He stole it.
blew up in 2016 because that was just the perfect climate for them. And it worked. And they're still popular today, but they were really top of their class in 2016. And then this happened.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Just kidding. And then this happened.
Yeah, I don't see a fucking landslide here. I don't see it at all.
North Carolina.
God damn it, if we need Florida, are you shitting me?
Florida.
It is fucking panic time.
Georgia.
Donald Trump, now the favorite to win the presidency.
Iowa.
New York Times now has it at 95% chance.
Utah.
Can still win, but in order to do so, she has to win Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
God damn, fuck.
Arizona.
Alaska.
Pennsylvania.
Michigan.
What a night!
How could anybody forget? Hear me out. I'm not picking sides at all here. I have no interest in that. I literally don't care. But Donald Trump winning the 2016 election was just the icing on the 2016 cake. 2016 was overloaded already. At least in America. I don't know what was happening in the rest of the world, but I feel like everything was crazy everywhere. Tell me what was happening in your country if you don't live in America. But I feel like things that happen in America kind of cause a domino effect in other countries. Tell me if I'm wrong. The social and political climate of 2016 allowed figures like Candace Owens, Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro to rise to the point where they are at right now. 2016 allowed these people to exist. Honestly, I'm gonna be exposing myself a little bit here, but I kind of almost bought into the culture until I got to Stephen Molyneux and kind of Sargon of Akkad, and the stuff they were saying about people who look like me was kind of...
I go to Poland. What is it, 99% white? I don't need any security. The streets are incredibly clean. Crime is almost non-existent. Nobody gets called a racist. There's no talk of white privilege. No identity politics. No endless diversity nagging. You know, I've spoken against white nationalism, but I'm an empiricist. I'm an empiricist. I went to the country. I saw how it was like. We could put something out on social media to have a social gathering, and we actually had the social gathering without bomb threats, without violence, without attacks, without things coming through the window. I've spoken out against white nationalism, but I'm an empiricist.
A deterrent. "2016 is the mark of a cultural shift. A shift not only in our ideologies, but the internet culture that we are so engrossed in every single day. 2016 was the last time, I think, for a lot of us where we were not really engaged politically and we could kind of take a step back and not have to think about that. It's kind of an afterthought, but right now it's kind of shoved in all of our faces and you have no choice but to pick a side. Or so you think. Things have become more hyper-polarized than possibly ever in anybody's recent memory. And don't get me wrong, things have always been polarized. That's how the government works. But it's kind of to the point where nothing seems to be getting done, and it seems that there's no middle ground, you know? It's like both sides feel the other side is trying to destroy the world. And I don't know about you, but to me, personally, this feels really artificial. Because it is. I want you to take a moment to just stop, pause, and think about how things have changed since 2016. When it comes to social media, when it comes to how you interact with people online, in real life, and also how you think. What are you being exposed to every single day that makes you think what you think? There's a lot more than you probably realize. Do you think your ability to share your opinion is more restricted? Do you think the content that you're able to create has to be limited by the social climate that we live in right now? Is the content you're seeing on a daily basis recycled or repetitive? I can't answer those questions for you. But I will say, I wish that we could all come together like how we did when Harambe died. Y'all remember that? It was kind of beautiful. Sometimes it feels like since 2016, things have started burning to the ground and just have not stopped since. I'm not even gonna go into the years after 2016 because I feel like we already know what happened, what's happening. The only question is, what's gonna happen next? How was 2016 for you? Especially outside of the country, because I'm kind of limited in my perspective here. I've only really lived in the United States. And I'd love to hear what's going on elsewhere, because a lot of Americans seem to think that the world revolves around them, around us, and that's obviously not the case. So please tell me what's happening in your country right now. How are you guys handling Corona, all that? If you like this video, please like and subscribe, because this is probably the biggest project I've ever worked on in my life. Like, I don't even pay this much attention to school, but I just thought it was a fun project to do, and obviously it paid off. I have a lot that I want to talk about, that I could talk about, and that I will talk about. So if you like this video, you'll probably like my other videos. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little scared for the future, but I'm also kind of excited. As long as nothing like Harambe happens ever again, I think we'll all be fine.
You were so big and strong, and ever since you're gone, I can't sleep. Life just ain't the same without you, without you, without you. When I woke up on the 28th of May, I looked at the TV with tears running down my cheeks.